Are you in your head or in the world? That's a question I often need to ask myself as I go through my daily life. Maybe it's a question that you might find helpful too, because that really, to me, seems to be the challenge of being human. Maybe it's not even a challenge. Maybe it's the most important thing to become aware of in our daily life. And it can be really life-changing when we notice, are we in our head or in the world? Because when we're in our head, we're generally making stuff up, folks. I mean, just to be absolutely clear, we're making things up. We're living in stories. We're often living in thoughts about ourselves. You know, when I work with people, quite often they've got a very loud voice inside their head, a very loud, noise inside their head saying that they're a bit rubbish and they really can't do this and they're an imposter or whatever else. And if we're living in that headspace, that really does stop us, doesn't it, from moving forward in our lives. And another, the really important part of this is the time traveling. Because I guarantee that when you're in your head, you will be time traveling. And that's not a thing, by the way. In our heads, we definitely think it's a thing, don't we, to try time travel, but really it's not. You can't time travel. You really can't. And it's exhausting when we're doing it all the time. So what do I mean by time traveling? I mean thinking about the past and thinking about the future. Meantime, your body, which is very sensible and doesn't attempt to time travel, is in the present moment. And that for me is the place. It's kind of what I'm considering this week, really, is the present moment, is, what's real, what connects us most deeply to the well-being that is the well-being, the being. It's a well of being, isn't it, within us? It's a great word, is well-being. What connects us most deeply to that is being psychologically in the present moment, because spiritually and physically, we're always in the present moment. I've never really said it like that before. It's only psychologically that we tend to time travel. And because we can't really time travel, it feels really icky in our bodies. You'll have noticed that. We spend a lot of time in the past, perhaps ruminating, perhaps regretting, perhaps in thoughts of shame and guilt. Our mood goes down. We feel low. We have low moods. We just don't, the world all just seems a bit awful. And, on the flip side of that, when we think a lot about the future, particularly when we're thinking about things that are scary in the future, made up things that are scary in the future, we feel anxious, don't we? We feel that in our bodies. And it's almost like you've got this system that's like, it's like the little, the little arms on the side of a pinball machine. It's just going, no, get back into the middle, into the present. No, don't be in the past, don't be in the future. It's like nudging us side to side. And, that system is like, come on, get back into the present moment. And how does it do that? Well, it does that by making you feel flipping awful when you're in the past or the future. It doesn't feel good in your body, does it? Because your clever body is built to show you when you are believing a lie, when you're believing something that's not true, when you're in your thoughts of the past, thoughts of the future. And there's a very different feeling when you're really in the world. Because yes, you may still have problems to solve, things to sort out, life to do. Life is not going to stop lifing because I've told you you need to be in your head, in the world, and not in your head. Life is still going to throw stuff at you. That's kind of life, isn't it? It's just what it is. I think there's a great deal of relief in just a bit of acceptance of that, actually. And Sydney Banks said it. He said, life is a contact sport. Unless you are going to live, in a tiny hole somewhere and not come out and interact with the world or have anything to do with any other humans or, the environment or the world as it is right now, which sounds like quite a sad existence to be fair, you are going to butt up against stuff in the world that may well need dealing with. I don't even want to call them problems because most of our problems are in our heads. The gravity of things. I was chatting to somebody the other day who had received an email that was just a little like pointing out something that they'd missed, and the gravity that was built up to was just it was too much, really. It wasn't helpful in terms of, there's something somebody's emailed me, I just need to put that right now. End of it. In the world, putting it right, not in the past or in the future. But I just think it's amazing that we've been given this system to help us to navigate and to help us to know whether we're in the world or in our heads every single moment of every day. Just now, maybe just sit and just breathe and feel. Feel that. Feel if there's tension in your body. I hope not while you're listening to this, but it could be that your thinking is still off in something else. We can be in the most apparently perfect situation, can't we? On holiday, out with our family, just socializing. And we can be so caught up in the future of work, for example, or caught up in something to do with other things that are happening in our lives or our businesses or whatever. And we can so much take ourselves away from the present moment, from what's actually here in front of us. And the clarity that comes from this is just, it's breathtaking, actually. It as you see it in yourself, it really can be quite profound to see in yourself the clarity of mind that is available to you always. Like it never can be taken away. And in the moment, if you're sort of asking that question, am I in my head or in the world? And you kind of know you're in your head. Then really, as soon as you see it, you tend to let it go. It's like, when if you were holding a hot rock and you didn't realize you were holding a hot rock, and then somebody said, you're holding a hot rock there, but you knew your hand was burning, you would drop it, wouldn't you? Straight away. You would be silly enough to keep hold of it. And that system we have, the feelings that we experience, the tension, the tightness, the just generally feeling quite rocked up inside, the low moods, all of that is just this absolutely perfect guidance to show us when we are not in the world, in the present moment, in what is happening right now, when we are in our heads, in our stories, where there is no peace. Really, there isn't. And we think there is. We think if we can just think, we think we can think our way to peace, which is just like, I wish I had a snow globe, because, you shake a snow globe and it all fizzes up, doesn't it? And shall we carry on shaking and making the desk? Sorry if anybody's feeling seasick now. Shall I carry on shaking the snow globe and see if I can find some clarity by thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking? Or shall I just put it down? Like the hot stone, shall I just put it down? And just see what comes from the settling of the mind, the calming down of it. Because I tell you what, that's to me is that's where peace is. It isn't in thinking our way to solutions. And I should know because I've tried umpteen times, just by the way. I don't think I've got this sussed, because I haven't. But whether it's in life or business or work, maybe that's just a question to ask yourself, especially when you become aware that you are feeling discombobulated, I like to call it. If you're feeling discombobulated, if you're feeling that tension and stress in your body, where are you? Is your attention in your head or in the world with what's right in front of you? It's a really helpful question to ask. I hope this has been helpful today. If you find yourself struggling with, I guess, SOS, stuck, overwhelmed and stressed, if you're struggling with that and you just would like a little more clarity, a little more calm, feel a little bit more confident in your day-to-day, then please do reach out. You can find me very simply at claredownham.com. Not difficult to remember that, is it? Bear in mind you're on Clare Downham's channel somewhere. Please don't suffer. You don't have to. Life doesn't have to be this way. Take care. Lots of love. Thank you so much for tuning in.